The soft glow of the restaurant's chandeliers flickered against the polished marble floors, casting delicate shadows across the gleaming silverware and crystal glasses. The air was thick with the aroma of rich sauces, sizzling steaks, and freshly baked bread, the unmistakable scent of luxury dining. Amid the low murmur of hushed conversations and the clinking of fine china, a young woman named Emma moved swiftly between tables, her crisp white apron fluttering slightly as she worked. But there was one table where her eyes barely lingered, a small boy sitting alone at a corner table, his clothes worn thin, face marked with the quiet weariness of hardship. His fingers nervously traced the rim of an empty glass, and his eyes, wide and hopeful, darted toward the waitress again and again. Emma saw him, but chose to walk past, focused on the affluent patrons whose bills promised bigger tips. Can you imagine how that boy must have felt, invisible in a place where every smile seemed reserved for someone else? Emma had always dreamed of working in this restaurant, a place where success seemed tangible, almost within reach. But tonight she carried a tiredness deeper than physical fatigue, the exhaustion of endless shifts, of balancing hope and reality. She told herself she didn't have time, that this wasn't her problem. Yet as she continued her rounds, something in the boy's quiet desperation lingered in the back of her mind. The boy's name was Lucas. Just 12 years old, he had wandered into the city streets after losing his parents to illness, carrying nothing but a worn backpack and a dream that one day things might be better. That night, hungry and alone, he had stepped into the grand restaurant hoping for a miracle. He didn't expect a feast, just a chance to sit somewhere warm, maybe find a kind word. But kindness seemed scarce. As the evening stretched on, Lucas's small figure hunched lower beneath the glow of the chandelier, eyes fixed on the exit as if waiting for a rescue that might never come. Emma noticed the way his hands trembled slightly, the way his gaze flicked to the kitchen door like a lifeline. A quiet voice inside her whispered, what if she reached out? What if she saw him not as a shadow in the background but as a child, in need? A few tables away, a well-dressed couple raised their glasses in laughter, their luxury seemingly worlds apart from Lucas's reality. Emma felt a pang of guilt, the kind that twists the stomach. She paused by a window, watching the rain begin to patter softly against the glass. The restaurant, for all its grandeur, suddenly felt cold. Then, without fully understanding why, Emma walked over to Lucas's table. Are you okay? She asked gently, her voice soft but clear. Lucas looked up, surprise washing over his features, a fragile hope blooming in his eyes. I'm hungry, he admitted quietly. Emma knelt beside him. Let me get you something to eat. She didn't hesitate. She found the chef, explained the situation, and soon a simple meal arrived. Warm soup, fresh bread, a small portion of roasted chicken. Lucas's face lit up as the first spoonful touched his lips, a smile breaking through the fatigue. But that wasn't the end of the story. Later, Emma's manager approached her, eyebrows raised at the unexpected generosity. You shouldn't be giving away food like that, he said sharply. But Emma stood her ground. Sometimes kindness isn't about rules, she replied. The next day, as Emma arrived for her shift, she found Lucas waiting outside, clutching a notebook. I want to learn to write, he said shyly. Emma saw potential beneath the grime and hunger, a spark worth nurturing. Over the weeks that followed, Emma helped Lucas enroll in a community program. She shared books, helped him with his homework, and most importantly, gave him the gift of belief. Her small act of kindness had created a ripple that reached far beyond the walls of the restaurant. Months later, Lucas stood in front of a crowd, at a local library reading a story he had written, a story of hope, of second chances, and the waitress who saw him when no one else did. The audience listened, rapt, as he spoke of kindness changing a life. Emma sat in the front row, tears shimmering in her eyes. Can you imagine how powerful that moment was? One small act of seeing a child, really seeing him, sparked a future filled with promise. So what can we learn from Emma and Lucas? That kindness is not a grand gesture reserved for heroes, but a simple choice each of us can make every day. When we look beyond the surface, when we open our hearts, we have the power to transform lives, sometimes even save them. If this story touched you, please like and share it. Comment below with your own experience of kindness, because your story matters too. And don't forget to subscribe for more uplifting tales that remind us all of the incredible impact we can have when we choose to care. And just wait until you hear the next story. It's about a homeless man whose life changed forever after one unexpected gift. You won't want to miss it.